Bill O'Reilly here, Monday, June 28th, 2021. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. Rescue teams continue to hunt for the missing after a condo collapses near Miami. Donald Trump speaks in Ohio. Kamala Harris barely visits the border. The head of New York's Pride Parade says the cops are symbols of oppression. Research shows modern politics now having a major negative impact on America's health. Also ahead, the worst president in American history. But first, at least 9 people are dead, 150 still missing in Surfside, Florida, north of Miami Beach, after an apartment complex collapsed. The cause of the disaster is still unknown. We are looking into that, and we'll have more information for you tomorrow. Now, officials in Miami-Dade are ordering the immediate inspections of all buildings taller than 6 stories and older than 40 years. Donald Trump holding a rally in Ohio, his first since leaving the White House in January. Former president endorsing local candidates while attacking his critics, claiming, quote, Joe Biden is destroying our nation right before our eyes. The event was entirely blacked out by the corporate and social media. Vice President Harris quickly visiting the southern border. Ms. Harris spent just a few hours at an immigration center in El Paso on Friday before jetting off to her private house in Los Angeles. The vice president offering zero on how to stop the nearly 200,000 migrants breaching the border every month. The co-chair of New York's Pride Parade defending the group's decision to ban uniformed members of the NYPD from marching. Andre Thomas telling MSNBC that cops are, quote, a symbol of oppression, a symbol of violence, and a symbol of fear. Mr. Thomas, in my opinion, is a symbol of ignorance. Research from the University of Nebraska says the modern political environment having a major impact on Americans' health, both mentally and physically. Study finds 40% of us believe politics are a major cause of stress. 1 in 5 report fatigue, and 4% admit to suicidal thoughts because of politics and the people who cover it. Present company excluded, of course. In a moment, what does the worst president of all time have in common with Joe Biden? Find out next. To mark 20 years since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is giving 200 mortgage-free homes to America's heroes and their families. What a great gesture. And in a moving tribute, the foundation CEO, Frank Siller, will spend August to September 11th walking from the Pentagon to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and then on to Ground Zero. Thanks to your support, the Towers of Light are to return to the sky at the Pentagon and the Shanksville memorials. On September 12th, those lost to 9/11 related illness will be honored. And on Veterans Day, those lost to the War on Terror are having their names read aloud. Both events are happening for the first time. So please honor our vow to continue to never forget, to do good, and please act now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. The ghost of a bad president passed. As part of our reporting on President Biden, we list his official White House schedule on my TV broadcast, that is the No Spin News, daily. We do this so Americans can understand that old Joe has a very soft day much of the time. There are days when the president has just one item on the schedule, like today. Rarely does he have more than 2. It's the slow lane for Joe, the bunny slope. This is not unprecedented. Back in 1857, the 15th president of the United States was a man named James Buchanan from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Jimmy did not load up on daily events. In fact, he almost totally ignored the threatened secession of the South, which was kind of a big deal. President Buchanan did not even put Union forces on alert. When Southern troops attacked Fort Sumter, James might have said, "Really?" Clueless doesn't even begin to cover it. Abraham Lincoln inherited a colossal mess in 1861. So my question is Joe Biden the ghost of James Buchanan past? Is he the reincarnation of Emperor Nero, fiddling while Rome burned? The answer to that question is maybe. Here's one vivid example of tactical avoidance by Mr. Biden, his speech on violent crime last week. It was bizarre and somewhat disturbing. Mr. Biden didn't even mention the defund the police movement or the no bail laws or drug gangs who are murdering thousands in cities like Chicago and New York. Apparently, President Biden doesn't see those things as drivers of violent crime. Nope. Mr. Biden says he will use the full power of the federal government to crack down on gun dealers who violate the rules. That, of course, will do little to stop the murder rampage in America. And expanding community programs will not help much either. The only solution to violent crime is to harshly punish the criminals who are hurting and killing people, as history has shown us. People kill, Mr. President. Guns are the instrument. But Joe Biden and his progressive left cadre will not emphasize punishment, mainly because 40% of all murders in the USA are committed by African Americans. Mr. Biden will never even acknowledge that stat, much less attempt to confront black criminals or any miscreant for that matter. His equity philosophy forbids a realistic problem-solving agenda, and so tens of thousands of people are getting hurt, including innocent children. Now, many consider James Buchanan to be the worst president in history. I do. He did nothing to confront the heinous slave situation and the growing rebellion below the Mason-Dixon line. He was MIA as the nation fell apart. Will Joe Biden descend to the historical depths of Buchanan? Could happen. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. For more honest news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com. And please check out my new book, Killing the Mob, 8 weeks at #1. In a moment, something you might not know. Are you looking for your next investment? Bill O'Reilly here. There are 7 reasons to look at the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized. Bonuses to 21% targeted. They strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people want to move to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk. Their short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns right now. NRIA is an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. So, if you've been sitting on the sidelines or want to diversify, start your due diligence at nria.net. Or you can call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Legendary comedian Mel Brooks celebrating his 95th birthday today. Mr. Brooks is a genius who has provided laughs to folks all over the world, as you know. Here's Mel's story. Born Melvin Kaminsky in Brooklyn on June 28, 1926, his early life was marked by tragedy. His father died shortly after his 2nd birthday, leaving Mel's family in dire financial straits. Said the comic later, quote, "There's an outrage there. I may be angry at God or at the world. And I'm sure a lot of my comedy is based on anger and hostility. I learned to clothe it in comedy to spare myself psychological problems," unquote. When Mel Brooks was 9 years old, his uncle, a taxi driver, was given free tickets to a Broadway show from a passenger in exchange for a free ride uptown. He gave the tickets to Mel, and a career began. But before he could hit the stage, Mel Brooks was drafted into the Army. He served as a corporal in World War II, defusing landmines across Europe and fighting Nazis at the Battle of the Bulge. When asked to comment on his time in the war, Brooks famously said, "I was a combat engineer. The two things I hate most in life are combat and engineering." After returning from World War II, Mel Brooks developed a few successful TV programs, including Get Smart. He moved to Los Angeles and launched a series of Hollywood hits that included the biggest comedy films of all time: The Producers, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Spaceballs, on and on. Ironically, nearly all of these films would be canceled by the PC police if they were released today. Mel Brooks forever changed the world of music, theater, film, and America's sense of humor. And here's something else you might not know. Mel is not done yet. The comedian has 3 separate projects scheduled for release this year. So, happy birthday, Mr. Brooks. One of your characters is the 1,000-year-old man. I wish you could live to be 1,000. Again, happy birthday, Mel. Back after this. As you know, Joe Biden has won the election, and with economic uncertainty looming, I am now more than ever recommending you diversify with gold and silver. The only company I recommend is American Hartford Gold. I trust them. I personally have done business with them. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA, and they make it easy. Please call them now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. Since I've been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold itself up over 40%, silver up 60%. So don't wait. Call them now, 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.